It's mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J. Mitch. We got Jackie Boyd.
He tried to jump up and he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys will come in and say,
Oh, God.
So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there, he's punching me in the stomach, like, punching me.
Here, is everyone sitting around? Who here thinks Chico can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's doing the team 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Chico can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
You heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Time for the show.
I never want to eat you had a circus or something.
I'm late. Like, I don't even know what I'd be doing.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they should.
Players, look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now. Hello. Welcome back to Mic'd Up. Today is Monday, February 12th. I feel like Monday should be, I guess, this weird. It kind of is because it's Mardi Gras week. But I feel like Monday always should be a national holiday following the Super Bowl. You know, you don't really eat very well.
I think there's a big push for that.
I should be. I mean, it's an event, right? Maybe a half day. They come in at noon, something. I don't know how it works, but you have Super Bowl on Sunday. It's obviously at 5:30, so it's not as late, but Super Bowl, so you have 1 million commercials.
How long was the game, Jared?
4.5
4.5 of them things.
4.5 hours, so that's a long time. Obviously went overtime, so that's different, but everybody's a little hungover probably. A little maybe
Dragon
maybe
ass.
has a little belly hangover for eating too much. But it's Monday and we're here.
Why do we do that to ourselves? Why wouldn't you just...
Because you start drinking and eating and
you get bored
you get on the
and watch
Carcucci
it.
boards at like 4 o'clock.
No doubt. That's it. Now, I didn't watch it. It was me and my wife at the house, and it was actually very relaxing. I got to focus.
No charcuterie?
No charcuterie. We didn't even have a Super Bowl food. We ordered P.F. Chang's to the house. She was her request. I was like, okay, perfect. It was great, wonderful, tasted awesome.
My wife popped popcorn. I felt like I was like, I had
That's
this big
great.
bowl.
That's
and I was
actually a
like,
good move. That's actually a good move. But
is
we
great.
watched the game. I watched all. I was like, I'm gonna lock in on the commercials.
Popcorn's elite.
Very disappointed in the commercials.
Yeah, no, you're hung up on this.
I am because I spent time. I was like, you know what?
I saw a couple I liked this year. I can't agree with you this year.
but like a couple. Usually there's like, I don't know. There wasn't very many.
You wanted that.
There wasn't very many. That was super memorable.
They did go very heavy on the celebrities in the commercials this
Right,
year.
they did.
Not like athletes, like straight up
They
celebrities in
did.
commercials.
They did, and I treated the commercials this year like the game. Like I was like, I'm not gonna be on my phone. I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna watch the commercials. Like I want to see Well, they've got. I don't know why. It was just one of those years, and I was like, damn. The one year I do it, it's kind of disappointing.
I did the same thing.
You know, it's like whatever. But great Super Bowl, unbelievable Super Bowl. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl, and then we're going to move officially away completely. I don't want to say completely because never football is king. It's never completely gone, but it is now officially baseball season. No more football games. Oh, no more NFL games. You have the UFL or the is it the American Football? How is it? What is it? They merged them.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's the UFL.
Is it UFL?
United Football League.
So you have the UFL, right? It's coming in the spring, which
Pumped.
we'll see what happens. But no NFL, no college football. It is officially baseball season now.
And the Saints went ahead and made it official. They got, they signed.
Add that in there. Saints did make it official. Clint Kubiak is now the offensive coordinator for the New Orleans Saints. There will be some football sprinkled in, but baseball is here. It's 4 days away from LSU, from the opening day. They have a little fan fest going on Friday before the game, leading up to the game, I think from 11 to 2. I believe the game is at 2. That is a new thing that Jay enjoys doing.
Likes that sun.
He likes the sun. And listen,
He's heard stories about
if
that
you
night
go
game.
look at the weather on Friday, it seems like it's a great idea because it's going to be a little chillier at night, maybe a little more damp during the day.
He's just bringing Arizona to
Taking a page
Louisiana.
out of Major League Baseball's book, though.
Yeah, that's what Major League Baseball does. Hey, we're more about the game quality of play on the field than the actual fan experience right now, and I think the quality of play and the nice weather makes for better fan experience. They think that, hey, if you're going to go see it, you're going to go see it at 2 or you're going to go see it at 7, doesn't matter. And so the LSU game is at 2. Opening
Call
day.
off of work.
Huh?
Just call off
Yeah,
of
it's
work.
Friday. Nobody works
In
full days
Louisiana on
Friday
Fridays
anymore.
anyway, except for me. And you.
But
Especially
And
post-COVID, huh? Like, who's in the office on Friday after
I know.
3?
I know. I don't know.
Zoom meeting.
Zoom meetings, yeah. A lot of me, I hate meetings. A lot of the old meetings to meet, don't love that. But we're going to talk this week leading up to the game. We're going to talk today about. We're going to preview some different position groups. We're going to preview a little bit of the bullpen today. We're going to preview. Actually, we'll ask you whatever you want us to preview on Wednesday. But I was anticipating previewing the depth of lineup on Wednesday.
Swings.
And then, yeah, we have some swings because our guy Jack was there. So based off the flow of the show, we have a couple guys with swings that we will break down or show why we like their swing and kind of show what things to look at in that. Obviously, baseball is a big thing here, so I think that would be something that you would enjoy, and you can watch it and kind of learn the game with us.
Post-game shows.
We'll have some post-game shows. We'll have some live. We'll have some live reaction. I believe they play on Monday. Right? It's in a 4-game series opening weekend.
What? No. But I was going to say, because of the game being at what time?
2 o'clock. We are
Scheduling
going
change.
to schedule change, move our show up. And I apologize if you enjoy watching the game with us. We like to be there. So we're going to move the game up to, move the game. We don't have the control of that. We're going to move our show up to 11, probably 11:30 to 1. We'll do 11:30 to 1 on Friday. We're going to have our friend of the show, Dougie Thompson. He's going to come in. He's going to preview. He's going to talk baseball with us before he makes his way to the game to call it. What?
Nothing.
Why are you doing that? But before he
Firefighter
comes in on
stand up.
Friday- What's that?
Firefighters stand up.
Firefighter stand up. Speaking of firefighters,
Speaking of.
me and Jared got asked to be part of the celebrity firefighters team on February 25th on their the event. And now we have to break doors
Pull a
down. It's a
hose.
relay race, pull hoses, do all that. I'm kind of nervous actually. I had to email her say I'm in, but can you give me a rundown of what to
Are
expect?
you going to
here?
put on the equipment?
Yeah, we got to go get fitted.
Are we doing that?
Yeah, we have to get fitted for it. It's whole competition.
Oh, wow. You didn't tell me it was all that.
She said in the email. You don't read the email?
No, you don't read shit.
I glanced over it.
I'm a little nervous about it. I'm a little nervous about it. That's tough. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to expect. I've never broken a door down.
That's not true.
No, never. Well, I've never got anything to break it.
I'm going to be first in right after.
As long as I don't have to climb up.
Check the perimeter. Y'all go in. I got the perimeter.
As long as I don't have to carry a ladder, hold it up, and climb up the ladder.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that's part of it, right? They wouldn't add a celebrity team if they're making them do that kind of stuff.
That's the point of adding a celebrity team. You make them do all this. It's like pros versus Joes, where they want to see, like, look how hard we work. You could never do this day in and day out.
I'm a little nervous. But we're going to be there.
Are we going to film it?
I'd like to.
That would be great.
If they allow us to.
Yeah, you might be in some sort of secret, Hippocratic oath.
But we're doing that. That's on the 25th of February. That happened. It's official. So you talk
Like
about
a
the
referee
firefighters.
whistle?
We'll have Doug on the show on Friday, and he'll be able to pub the event and the firefighters, and we'll pub it as we go and as we get more information. But we have accepted the invitation, so should be interesting. Should be fun. Great time. Great cause.
Don't put out a grease fire with water.
Baking soda, apparently. I saw a little TikTok thing of that. That baking soda does a really good job of that.
Yeah, that's where I learned.
He was trying to go to you, and he went to me instead. He messed up on the video change.
Little digits.
Uh-huh.
A little sore. From all the gambling I was
What
doing.
did y'all feel about the Super Bowl?
I thought it was
awesome.
Inevitable.
Rigged?
No, maybe. I mean, I did bet overtime.
My wife was
convinced.
is convinced
Still?
Still
still
convinced.
convinced that the game is rigged. It was rigged.
If you see it through that lens, I could take you there.
The worst thing that happened to the NFL was the CBS guy making a joke about it going to double overtime.
And we were 6 seconds away.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't. I guess it would have been considered double overtime. It was just technically been the second quarter, which is a whole other topic because
Kyle
apparently
Shanahan didn't know.
Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers had no idea about the new rules. But the Chiefs did because the Chiefs were the reason. Chiefs and the Bills game were the reason why the rules changed.
Andy leaves no stones unturned. So.
No, so they've been working on this since preseason.
Preseason.
49ers didn't even know about it.
Thought we scored a touchdown, we were done.
We got the ball, which everybody's asking why take the ball first. There's some advantages. We talked about this before the show. There are some advantages of getting the ball first. I think if they knew the rules, then they would have gone second. Now, maybe Kyle Shanahan did know the rules and said we're taking the ball first because he wanted to score. And then he wanted to, if they score, then he wanted to have the last go.
The kill shot.
Maybe. I don't know.
He blamed, I don't want to say blamed.
Kyle Shanahan said this.
Kyle Shanahan said, we've looked at it and the analytics determined that we should take the ball.
So,
Which sounds like he was
A
caught with his
cop-out,
pants
maybe.
down.
I don't love that answer.
Me either.
I expect a little more from him. He's a good coach, man.
I agree.
I don't love the.
I just
doesn't
feel
matter
like
if
you
it comes
gotta
from
know
him. I
that.
don't love the analytics said. Like, well, what did you say? What did your mind say?
I just feel like you got to know that.
I feel like that's the easiest way to blame somebody that nobody gets blamed for without
It's not
blaming
just,
yourself.
but it's not just something.
Because he's not going to go to the podium after the Super Bowl
Right,
and go,
of course not.
fuck, I didn't know the rules.
Of course not.
It's
Well,
not
unless you're Dennis
Donovan
Allen.
McNabb.
Unless you're Dennis Allen and you throw your whole team under the bus. Like, oh no, we didn't want to do that. They changed the play.
Let me apologize at the 50.
Yeah, let me go and say no, we didn't. That's not what we called. Well, no, let's go to the podium and say one thing and then say something behind the scenes, and maybe. I don't know. I find it hard to believe that
Cam Jordan seemed to know what to say.
Yeah, but I find it hard to believe that Kyle Shanahan did not know.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't something that just, it's not a rule change that just gets slid into.
I think he knew. I just think he never really saw them getting to that position to where he needed to do it. So maybe for whatever reason, he felt like, hey, there's enough through 4 quarters with what they do, and there's enough with like situational football that I want to do when it comes to getting to, the end of the 4th quarter or getting into a overtime thing. But I'm not really worried about second quarter of the overtime.
Right.
I feel like that's where he was, because a lot of his team said they didn't know.
Right.
There's no way he didn't know.
He had to know.
There's no way he didn't know.
He had to have known the situation.
Would they have kicked it off again if it went to a second overtime? Did he start over? Is it like halftime?
No, it's like a game. So like
It'd be like first quarter, second
so
quarter.
if
not
those 6
second
seconds
quarter, third.
expired
Yeah.
before they scored, right? Only thing that would have happened was you go to commercial,
field.
you see more commercials,
Perfect.
and you come back, you flip the field, and you pick up from right there like the second quarter just started.
But what about after if you get through 2
Oh, is there
overtime
halftime?
periods?
Did
Yeah.
you go to half?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but that's a good question. See, there's a lot going on.
Now I don't know if they ever. I mean, listen to me. If they're
This is
playing,
what Kyle
if they're
Shanahan's
playing-
talking about right now.
They're playing 6 quarters in the NFL. I mean, it could happen.
Joe Burrow almost died on the field against Texas A&M.
I can't imagine it going in another halftime. I think it's probably just quarters.
Then Taylor Swift comes out for the second halftime show.
Then you bring out the orange wedges and everything. You got to feed
Capri
the boys
Suns.
at that point.
Yeah, Capri
I
Suns.
can't just have you out here.
Yeah, Gatorades, Powerades,
all
water.
of that.
You know, you look at your mom, hey, I need something to drink.
What do you do?
I need something to drink.
Not the red Powerade. No.
Yeah, not the red, the blue, the green. If we did that when we're in the dugout, hey, you're not playing.
Yeah, you're out. Sit down.
We had a kid that would eat a Snickers in the outfield during the game. Shaq.
That thing had to be melted, huh?
Oh, man. Pulled it right out of his pocket. He was pissed he was playing the outfield and said, I got one for you, coach.
Terrible. Terrible.
That's doo-doo, baby.
How about that D, huh? How about that D? Boy, Vegas is very good. We've learned that. You, though, my friend,
Thank you, sir.
you had a nice night.
I did. Gambled a lot.
I did not place one bet
I
personally
got you covered.
for me. I placed a bet for my brother-in-law, and he parlayed
Well, what's his source?
my 6-year-old godson, his son, Hudson.
Sees
Mike
the
texted-
board clearly.
They're in Florida for like a vacation, which that's a whole nother conversation I had to have with Mike. Like, you're going to Florida in February. Like,
He's chasing golf.
it's not going to be – it's going to be cold. Not going to be great weather.
Yeah.
You're
Windy.
not going to Miami.
Windy,
You know what I mean?
windy.
Yeah, so they're there.
Same
Can't-
line of latitude, man.
Can't gamble in Florida, right? So he sends me a text and he says, hey, Hudson, his 6-year-old son, he's like,
Savant.
thinks the Chiefs are going to win. And I want to add the over. I want to do a same game parlay with the Chiefs plus 1.5, and I want to go over the 47. So great, parlayed it, whatever. Chiefs obviously end up winning, so they won that portion of the bet. NFL, you do not have to kick the extra point, so he pushed the 47. If Moody would have made not gotten blocked on the extra point, which more about him hosel rocking it off his ankle than the block, because that had no chance of going in regardless.
Yeah.
Right. I think it was a bad kick.
I think it almost hit the back of someone's head.
Yeah. I mean, he almost kicked off like
but
as if I would have kicked
But
it.
then we watched Butker make one like that.
Right.
Oh,
It
he
was
had
off the
an
ankle,
absolute
but
stinger.
he
Right.
made one like that.
And so they did not win it, but they won one of it. They won the normal bet.
Depends on
Because
who
the-
he bet with, what app, because ESPN will take your money like just
Yeah,
like
exactly. I
that.
bet it was Caesars.
Yeah.
But it has to
So-
be 4 legs, though, right?
I don't know.
I think so. I think the ones that take that you can get, it has to be 4 legs to be able to get like partial credit for it or whatever.
Is it?
I think so.
So he just pushed the bet in general.
He did. Mike did.
So that he didn't win the
Hudson did.
Yeah.
Hudson pushed the
Hudson
bet.
did,
Yeah.
Yeah, so they pushed.
Because Dad got greedy.
But you, my friend,
Thank you, sir.
you won some money.
I did.
You want to go through some of the bets?
Oh, where should
You have
we
to go through
begin?
all of them.
Yes, but I do think
I'll go through your record. You lost 4. Some
Okay.
may say, oh, you lost 4 bets. But you won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You won 10. You won 10 and 4.
Keep cooking right here.
But
4.
in Lloyd fashion,
I know.
the
any
ones
of
that
these
had
in-game?
Here's the deal. In Lloyd fashion, he bet will there be an OT twice, plus 1,100 and plus 900. Ask him how much he placed on that wager. He wishes he bet $5 on it.
You put $1 on that?
$1.
You
$1.
were. I mean,
What did that win you? $10?
I did $1 and $2. $2 netted me 25.
I mean, why would you do that?
Because I
$1.
didn't really think.
If you're
But you're
willing to
up.
bet
Which
one, why
five?
wouldn't
Which
you
$5? Is $5 gonna break your
If
bank?
you're willing to bet 1, why would you not just bet the 5 on it?
Yeah. Like, is $5 gonna break your bank account in your betting account? No, because you're doing well.
I could be doing better.
You could be doing better, right?
I mean, are you kidding me right now?
I was on drugs.
Wow.
That's not
Well, that doesn't make an excuse. You're always on drugs.
I know.
You should be very well versed
I
in
get
that.
it. But what we really did, I was with a couple of buddies. We did a low-key Super Bowl party where we tried to do the exact same thing you do. Like, we're going to lock in on this thing. And we were so invested in it that to determine who was going to be the first touchdown of the game and the coin toss, which also we hit heads. We went opposite tails never fails. Win heads. Cash that ticket.
I love heads.
But we did all of this through a Madden Super Bowl simulation, 15-minute quarters, all Madden, computer versus computer.
How long did that take?
About 6 to 7 minutes to get the first touchdown score.
Well,
But we were
oh,
kinda
so that
locked
was all
in.
you were waiting for the first
Yeah, we
touchdown
didn't watch
score.
the whole game. We just did, all right, let's see who's going to be the first. Christian McCaffrey scores
What if the
first.
game would have ended 25-22 on that?
I don't know. I kind of wanted to keep it rolling because we had the waste management on the real TV. Then we made the executive decision.
Great.
2 TVs.
Waste
Let's make
management.
a move.
Waste management.
Got out of hand.
That's a whole other conversation. Did it? You think?
Jumped
More
the
so
shark.
than normal?
It's not golf guys doing it. It's like these people that are trying to go viral and it just could.
For what?
The internet.
No. But what? It's not golf guys doing what? Like going to waste management?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
bunch of people that are like trying to make a mockery of the event.
For sure. That's not good.
Like Zach Johnson's still a pussy, but like everybody else, like I get the complaints at some points.
Right. You got like, how am I supposed to
Go back
putt?
to your shanties.
How am I supposed to putt with that going on? Doug? No, I'm with you. But waste management was great. Great finish.
We bet on Burnsy.
Huh?
We bet on Sam Burns
Yeah.
live to didn't
To
work.
win?
Yeah. He was in. They were within 2 strokes. But
Yeah.
then it kind of just as soon as we bet on him, we mushed him.
Of course. You mushed. You did me.
It's okay.
But you did well. I'm proud of you. I'm happy that you
Yeah. Plus
That's you-
1100,
yeah,
plus
that's it, that's it.
900.
That's it.
Hit the future also of the 49ers and the AFC to win the Super Bowl.
No, you hit the future of the Chiefs.
Yeah. Oh, the Chiefs.
You lost the future of the
Oh, I
49ers.
did. But then I had the AFC, and then I did the Chiefs again, and the overtime
You
bet.
took the Chiefs twice, by the way.
I know. And what else did I have? I forgot what I was going to say. But
Result at end of third quarter.
yeah, I knew
Chiefs.
the Chiefs were about to get hot. Like I said, it was inevitable. You could feel this Chiefs run coming. Even
Yeah.
after to start the second half with an interception, I still felt very comfortable that the Chiefs were just going to go Chiefs.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Thank you.
You did a great job. Congratulations. I'm very proud of you of your betting.
Now we go-
10-4 in Super Bowl is great.
Now we go forward.
Now, if you would have actually got off your wallet a little bit, you
I
would
know.
have won some money. But you didn't because you got scared. You didn't trust yourself.
Just trust the system.
Doesn't he's definitely a guy that does not press at the blackjack table.
No.
Insurance.
Keeps playing the minimum. Buys the insurance.
Buys the insurance. Speaking of those,
Yeah, I was
boy,
about
Vegas seemed like a time.
the tunnel of
Also,
chaos.
I may have just weaseled my way into some rooms for the Vegas trip for LSU. Potentially.
For the boys?
Potentially. Just hold off.
Sitting at home with your wife cooking? How'd you do that?
Potentially.
Potentially. You. Us.
I don't know the amount. I don't know.
Oh, I'm a floor guy.
I don't know what it includes, but potentially.
I am banned from all MGM properties, but we can put that to the test.
Don't tell me because you're counting cards.
They know you there, huh?
Because you're counting cards.
Sportsbook related.
Because of a sports book.
Scared of the shark.
What were you doing? What'd you do?
Snuck back in.
No, what'd you do though? Why are you banned?
It's an off-air story.
Okay, fair enough. I don't want to implicate you any more than you already are. But Vegas looked like a time. Now, very expensive. Can't imagine being in Vegas would have been good for anybody's bank account if you can't afford it.
It's one of those, hey, if I'm going to just go ahead and throw it out there, I'm going to throw it out there. I'm not looking at this after. I
No,
don't wanna
and
see
look,
it.
here's the deal. Like, you ain't getting anywhere fun around anybody that you want to be around
Not in
unless you
Vegas.
either got the money or you know somebody.
Not in Vegas.
Not in Vegas. There's too many people. Looked like they had a time. The Bustin' with the boys were doing their thing.
Gotta
That whole-
imagine
the
that
whole group
group
of-
spent $50K plus that weekend. Personally.
They won $90K the first night they
Apparently,
were there.
Lawan won $700,000. Or was up $700,000 according to Dana White.
Dana White does. This feels illegal also, but I'm just jealous. Like where he fronts the whole, like everybody can, he has unlimited credit at the casino. And so he's like, this is how I play blackjack. I'll play for you, and like fronts them money and takes a little bit of it on himself. But he's like running the casino.
No, that's not illegal. You have enough money to do it. You can listen. I learned that. When we were in Tampa. No,
No,
Detroit. They have a casino.
you can. I guess
There's
you,
a
play, you
casino-
could gamble.
Yeah, there was a casino up there, and we had like a fan fest, or we had like an event, and so we had the back room, private room, 2 tables, all to ourselves. Hey, this is what's going on. We were able to negotiate and talk. Hey, it's a private table. This is what we want to do, and we want this table to be this minimum, no limit, no what, and they let you do it. So.
Michael Scott
No,
Poker
to a certain
Night.
listen, there's a book written about a guy who is banned from Vegas casinos, broke the casino. He figured out how to not use any of his credit that he got from the casino, like comps. Instead of using the comps, he was able to say, okay, he would create his own terms at the blackjack table. And he would bring the odds to almost 50-50. So like there's ways to do it if you gamble enough money. So,
Or if you just have unlimited
and,
money.
and look, in the grand scheme of the casino, they're always going to win, right, over everyone else. So it's like, okay, you'll have a good time one weekend.
And it
That's
makes
what we did.
gambling look like fun again. Like
Great.
all of the pub that comes out is just good for blackjack.
No doubt. They had a great time, looked amazing. I was jealous. I would love to have been there, but I wasn't.
Soon.
No, not that soon. mean, a long time. September. It's a long time.
Be here before you know it.
It is a while.
Get our funds up.
Can't start saying soon until we get to like the summer.
Can't
So
start
you-
saying soon until it gets like hot.
Until we're like get to go to the pool and stuff.
Until
Through
it's
baseball
really
season.
hot.
Yeah, until like maybe
SEC tournament.
SEC tournament. Yeah,
Soon.
But yeah, it looked like Vegas was a time. I want to go to a show in the Sphere, no doubt. That looked amazing. You don't have any desire?
I do, but apparently U2 was no good. from
Well, I'm
what I
not
heard
saying
from
you too. I'm
McAfee.
not saying I want to go see you too. I want to go see a
Just
show
anything in there.
in the Sphere, like preferably some like. Doesn't have to be a con. I don't think I want to see a concert. I think there's too much going around.
I want to see a UFC event there.
Wow.
Dana White swears he's going to bring a UFC event there. I want to see that.
And
He
Dana
runs
White
Vegas.
says it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I would like to be there for that.
Me too.
He said give him like 8 to 10 months to kind of like plan how they would do it. That would be.
I mean, we've talked about this on the show. The greatest, probably the greatest sporting event that I've ever been to, was a UFC.
Greatest sporting event I've never been to.
He slept through it.
No, he was there.
I was there. I wasn't there, but
He
I
just
was there.
wasn't in the
Arena.
in the octagon, right next to the octagon. He was watching the octagon from down the street from a nice suite in a robe,
from a nice
Drinking
box in the
champagne.
sky.
drinking champagne.
Real hard to make myself leave here.
Yeah, with
Nice
slippers
little
on.
airy breeze going on.
Yeah,
you know?
he was in a good
a lot
time.
of free flow going on.
Yeah.
That could have been top. That's probably top 3 best weekends of my life.
That weekend was great.
It was awesome.
We've told the story. That
We
weekend
talked
was
too many times, but Vegas looked like a time. What a great place to go win a Super Bowl and celebrate after, and Travis Kelce did his thing. What?
That's what I was about to get to. It's like somebody definitely had a time.
Travis Kelce did his thing. Obviously, the Taylor Swift Travis Kelce thing. Like, I know people get upset with it. I think it's great for everything. I think Pat McAfee said it really well on his show. You can get mad about it all you want. The hardest demographic the NFL is trying to bring back is the demographic that Taylor Swift captures. And so now you are now in that demographic because Taylor Swift has that effect. She is, if you don't like, you can not like her, you can like her, you can do whatever you want, but her effect is real.
She's a business.
She is a business. And so you saw Roger Goodell talking to her in the suite, like that's smart move. You're getting Travis Kelce's obviously bringing in a whole new group of fans because of Taylor Swift. You're seeing now these young girls watch football games with their dads and be interested because of Taylor Swift. And now that's going to lead to more of these young girls wanting to play sports, wanting to do different things. And I think all of that is good in the long run.
The jock is back.
And,
The jock is back. It's cool
is
to
it?
be a football, baseball athlete again.
Right. And so I think Taylor Swift did a really good job. I think this is a good way for her to, like, not humanize her, but, like, make her a little bit more real.
Yeah.
Because, like, she stopped doing a bunch of stuff like she used to do. You didn't really see her out as much unless she was touring or doing whatever. This just kind of makes her normal now. And the Kelce.
So relatable.
Jason Kelce just always wins.
And that's the other part of it, is if you do
We're not going to get too much into this because.
Right.
The grown man lives on top. Respect him.
But he breaks the fourth wall for all of this because, like, if you do get sick of it and, like, oh, look, they're so love, whatever, then there's Jason Kelce lumbering around somewhere and just like, this is the guy. He's like Alan in The Hangover.
Yep.
He just pops up and you're
He
like, he did.
He went to Vegas dressed as Alan from The Hangover with the satchel and everything. It's amazing. 37 years old. I love that. Love that.
He's going to go play for the Chiefs.
He's
He's the
had
chief
some
of the Kelce household now. That's where he
he ain't.
They had some center issues last night. A lot of snaps rolling around.
A lot of bad snaps, right? But he's done, I think. I mean, they've never played together in pro ball.
Did in Cincy with Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly to the Chiefs.
Yeah. That's a whole nother conversation.
Chip Kelly to the Chiefs.
About Chip Kelly going to take the offensive coordinator job at Ohio State. We're not talking football, except for the Super Bowl. What else did y'all like or didn't like from the Super Bowl?
Usher.
Talk about Usher a little bit. Yeah.
Brought me back, Coach.
I can tell you this.
Brought me back.
I thought I'll give the performance an 8. I enjoyed it. It was good. A lot of memory lane songs and stuff like that, right? The only thing, and I get it, man, it's hard to do. The only thing I like to see when you are a performer / singer / artist is, hey, if you can sing and you got a good voice, like, I want to actually hear you sing too, a lot of it. Now, look,
Yeah.
I'm not saying he didn't, But like I like to
Man
hear
was
vocalists.
moving.
I
Hard
like
to
to
s-
hear vocalists
yeah.
in those situations, and I get it. It's not the Grammys, right? There's more of a performer vibe to it than there is a here's my vocals. So it's, it's kind of a different arena a little bit. But if I could have got more singing out of him, that would have took it over the top for me. But all in all,
Yeah,
good
I mean,
performance.
I think it was exactly what I
enjoyed it.
expected. Right?
I didn't know Usher was out there like that,
What do you mean?
like performance-wise. Like I
Really?
remember Usher, like I remember like the music videos and like he danced and can
Oh
dance.
no, I've been to an Usher concert before.
Okay, that's all he does.
Awesome.
He's a performing.
Oh, he's
Sure
a
always
performer.
comes off.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody
you
cashed
saw
a ticket.
You saw how much he was sweating more than anybody playing.
Oh yeah, I mean I know that's. I don't know if that was
I mean,
performance
you don't
related.
have a lot.
It's
of those,
enhanced,
It's enhanced.
but it's performance.
You don't have a lot of those guys anymore that do the
Yeah.
dance, like as much of the performing.
Yeah, he's a
singing,
one-man
like-
band.
It's a dying art.
Like Michael Jackson type stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you don't have
Chris
that.
Brown, Michael
Yeah.
Jackson, Usher, like all of that.
But he
They
did a
go
great
there,
job.
it's-
Great songs.
Yeah.
He didn't even play any of his new stuff. He's dropping a new album. Didn't play any of it. But we've talked about our guy Joe Pompliano. Broke it all down. He is 550 plus 550%. His streamings are up 550%. His ticket sales are up, I think it was like 300%. And whatever else is up 50%.
You know who's not buying a ticket? Swiss Beats. I think he
No,
got
Well,
enough
Swiss
of that
Beats came
show.
out.
I will say this. I will pat myself on the back of this. I did know this. I called it about a week ago. I told my wife, I go, guaranteed he's on roller skates in the performance.
No way.
Yeah. Apparently that's like so he's had a residency in Vegas for a while. Apparently that's
Part of the show.
part of his show. Like he does a lot of stuff on roller skates and
Oh, so he does shows in Vegas?
yeah, he's had a residency there. And so like he's done
Wow.
that there. So, and that's why I honestly thought he was going to open up with Daddy's Home. Like I was like in Vegas, he's had a residency there. He'll open with that. I was like, but he'll definitely be on skates at some point. And he did it.
I think he set the songs up perfectly. Start off slow. You feel real good. Now, he had some mic issues, I feel like, early on. But you start off slow. You kind of get into that, nostalgia. And then all of a sudden, banger,
I
banger,
wasn't
banger,
expecting
banger,
him
banger,
to
high
have
energy.
that many guests in it. And
Yeah.
that was dope about it too.
Whenever they brought out Lil Jon, I'm like, okay, this is kind of getting hyped now.
Then
Oh,
bring
I
out,
was sat up
bring
on
out
the-
Luda.
They bring out Luda.
Yeah.
What was he wearing?
This is great.
Same thing that Usher was.
Alicia Keys killed it.
She did.
What a
That
great-
piano that she was playing on killed it.
Killed it.
That was good.
Outfit was great. Everything was good.
Good.
It was great. Eight is a very good. Wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, but it was unbelievably entertaining. And
It made me
was
feel. I think we finally hit the demographic. I'm not that much younger than you, where it was like we probably were all had the
we had some
Ursher,
Ursher experience.
and then I was like, damn, this is for me. And I was like, oh no.
And now he's gonna bring some of that younger
Felt
generation.
like my dad when Paul McCartney came on when he performed the halftime show. He's like, oh. I was like,
Yeah,
oh god, it's all downhill from here.
Well, I think Usher's relatable enough now to where he brought in maybe some of that younger generation, and then he's gonna drop a new album, so they're gonna kind of maybe get to see it. I was hoping he would bring Bieber out. That was my wife was too. She was the whole time waiting for Bieber to come out because he was there,
Who was there?
but
Just wasn't feeling it.
didn't come out. Apparently, rumor is he wasn't feeling it. He's just coming back off of his whole deal. He's starting to sing again, but hadn't really, performed it. Whatever. I thought it was great. I thought that was awesome.
Johnny Manziel of music.
And no, no, Bieber's not that. And then obviously the second half of the game was way better than the first half.
Yeah.
Ended up winning it. And
If you'd have told me it was 0-0 at the end of the first, and I said no. 10-3 at the end of the half, and I said no. But it picked up in the second.
it picked up and did everything we wanted it to do, and lived up to expectations. And it was a great Super Bowl. Congratulations to the Chiefs. I wish the 49ers would have won. That's who I wanted to win. Not because I hate the Chiefs, not because I hate Taylor Swift, not because I don't think Mahomes is good enough to win, just because I was rooting for the 49ers. I like Brock Purdy. I like Kyle Shanahan. I like Christian McCaffrey. I like the guys they have around. I like all those guys. Kittle. And I just wanted to see them win and, kind of change it up a little bit, but that wasn't the case. And now you're going to get the Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes comparisons forever. Forever.
Did
I
we
do think it's crazy. I don't know if y'all saw this. After the game, they put up a. Actually, I flipped over to SportsCenter after the game.
Nickelodeon?
No, Nickelodeon.
I heard that was awesome.
Me too.
I've never watched it, but I heard it was awesome.
After the game, they did put up a graphic of all time across all of the American top sports, the names of the players who won 3 championship MVPs in their first 7 seasons? No, there's. It wasn't the first 7 seasons. It was as quickly as winning
Before
the first
30 or something.
No, it was after that because Brady was on there and he was in like season 14 or something at that time. 3 championship MVPs, and it's all like I'm talking the name of the names. Like there isn't a dude on there where you're like who, or you're like man he was okay. Every one of them was like top of the game, right? Patrick is in front of every single one of them.
Yep.
So
No.
it's by far the best start
No
to
doubt.
any sports career we've ever seen in American
I
sports
mean, he
history.
is if his career ended tomorrow,
Hall of Famer.
he said,
Hall of
I'm
Fame.
done. He's a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer.
First ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt.
Yeah.
Now, he's got bigger aspirations. He wants to be the greatest of all time. He's chasing Tom Brady. He's even said in interviews, it's hard for me to ever consider me to be better than Tom Brady because the only time I had an opportunity I had to beat him in the Super Bowl, he beat me.
It's so weird too because
He
he's
said
only,
this. Patrick Mahomes said that.
He's only 7 years into his career, and you look at Tom Brady's career, and it was Tom Brady played for 20 plus years.
23.
The back half of it is where he did really the majority of like his real damage, right?
He had 2 Hall of Fame careers, basically.
Right, yeah. But like Tom did it like numbers wise and championships
Right.
wise. Like the back half of the career is where it's weird to be like, damn, can he have like a whole career that goes like the first 7 is gone? Because that's unbelievable.
And
what we
that's
see.
that's my next conversation, right? You had Tom Brady had an unbelievable start to his career. Now, Patrick Mahomes even better, but Tom Brady had a very, very good start to his career, and then he went through this little bit of a gap. He got hurt. He had
2 losses to the Giants.
He had some losses to the Giants. Didn't win. Those were the first times he lost some Super Bowls, and he went through a little bit of a gap. Everybody was saying, "Is it time for him to retire?" Then I think that was in 13 or something, and then he comes back and they win it, and they win it, and they win it, and they start doing this other run, and so then he plays for another 10 years. If Pat Mahomes stays on the same trajectory, obviously, greatest of all time, never seen like he'll win 10 Super Bowls, right? Because of the way he's going. Do I think this is going to happen? I think there's going to be some bumps in the road. He's not going to continue always win Super Bowls. I think he's going to have to figure out something else. The big thing for me is when he gets to that 32, 33 range to the last part of his career, hopefully until he plays 40, 41.
And Pat Mahomes
What's that
Sr.
What's that going to look like?
Pat Mahomes Sr. is on DUI 10.
Right. What's that going to look like, right? That's the difference. Like, and you can't say it because Tom's already done it. Pat's in the middle of it, so you don't know what's going to happen, but that's what I want to see. Because right now, he's a Hall of Famer. He's the greatest to ever do it at this point in his career right now. That's what I think.
But like history will tell you that he's not going to rattle off like 7 in a row, you know?
No.
Because Tom went through that lull where he didn't win again until he was like 33.
Right.
Whenever he went 3 out of 4 in his first 4 years in the NFL.
Right.
And then it falls off and it plateaus, but they're definitely built in the same vein of having coach and quarterback, where
No
it
doubt.
was Belichick, Brady, Andy Reid, and
For sure.
Mahomes. It feels like
How
almost a
much is
souped-up
Andy
version.
Reid's going to be as long as Belichick did? I don't know.
I mean, he's 67. I think he's between 66 and 68 right now.
He almost died last night.
Travis Kelce almost ran over.
Tried to kill him.
Yeah, Travis Kelce got. Now I
him
think
young.
Travis had a lot.
Came in a little hot.
A lot of emotion, a lot of energy early in the game. Like you could see it when he was warming up. You could see it during the national anthem. You could see it during all that. And I'm like, and then he calmed down. Second half, played really well.
It's crazy to me too because I saw a lot of people talking about like AJ Brown came out and said if I would have done that I'd be kicked out of the league. Look, was it a little much? Yeah, it was. But here,
First reported by CT ESPN.
the weird thing to me is when I watch guys like AJ Brown. Like I get it, bro. AJ is a very good player, but he has nowhere near the skin in the game that Travis Kelce has. He has nowhere near the rapport built up with their head coach that Travis Kelce has. So for you to sit here and say just because Travis did it means you could, there is levels, right? Like everybody gets treated fairly, but everyone
doubt.
doesn't get treated
Listen,
the same type thing.
when
It's
Tom
like
Brady
guys
was-
not understanding that type of
When
stuff.
Tom Brady would slam his helmet and yell at his offensive lineman.
Yeah. When Tom Brady was literally
We
back
earned
and
that.
forth with Bill O'Brien on the sideline. It's different, dude. Like there is levels.
Got
and
cachet.
Some of these things you got to like understand, man. Like you got traded over there 2 years ago. Yeah, I wouldn't expect you to be yelling at Sirianni. Like just stuff like that. Like,
Well, and I think it's more of the rapport between Andy Reid and his players, where it's like, whoa, like you
you
could
can't go his players, no, because we can't go down the line and say anybody could do that.
Yeah.
Like, no,
But that's what I'm saying. Okay,
can't.
star players,
Yeah.
like between like Kelsey,
Well,
where they
listen,
know him so well.
Here's a good example, right? And this is a very smaller scale example.
5 beers.
I'm gonna have to go to Monero. You get to a time in your career, right? You earn trust from your head coach, from your manager, from whoever, right? Whoever's the leader of your team. Over time, doing the right things, performing the way you need to perform, making sure you're doing everything the way that
Trust.
that he wants you to do it, or like that he respects. You earn that trust and you earn that respect from your head coach, to where you have the ability to say, okay, I've done something maybe that's a little bit outside of my character, or something that may not look great. You're going to get the benefit of the doubt, and you're going to be able to have the respect enough from your head coach to have that conversation and him know, okay, his emotions got the best of him. Can't have that all the time, but he doesn't do that very often. And my story of this is Coach Maneri, my junior year, Coach Maneri had told us when we first got to LSU, hey, listen, I will never, like, man-to-man, my door's always open. If you have an issue, you come and talk to me, right? If you have an issue with me, you come and talk to me. Because if you have, earned that respect and earned that right, like everyone here works hard enough, you should be able to tell me if I feel like I'm not doing the things I need to do.
Hold me accountable.
Right. So my junior year, we had a really young team, and Coach Maneri is very emotional, right? And he shows a lot of, passion in the way he coaches. Sometimes his body language can show that. With a young team, a lot of freshmen, guys are trying to do the right things, but maybe not doing it very well. And he's getting frustrated, and they look at him, and his body language may show something else. They try harder. They fail even more. They're young. They're freshmen. They're not professional athletes either. So let's get that out the way.
Pre-NIL.
Right. Yeah. This is just something that
Love of the game.
whatever. So I felt like these guys are kind of playing uptight, whatever, and so they came and talked to me, the players. I walked into coach's office and said, hey, you told me when I was a freshman, if I felt like there was something I needed to talk to you about, and you feel like you've kind of earned, I feel like I've earned enough respect for you that that I wouldn't be coming here and telling you this if I didn't think it mattered. I told him, I was like, I think your body language needs to change. I think some of the freshmen are taking it the wrong way. I have no problem with it, but they're young, and I'm not saying that they don't need to learn how to deal with it. But right now, I think this is kind of where it's at, and totally got it, changed his body language, made a big difference, right? And so my point in saying that is it takes some time to earn that, and once you earn that, you're able to do certain things that other people may not be able to do, to your point. Not everybody has that ability to do that.
I'm sure, too, throughout the year, because so I had this conversation with my wife as we watched the game last night.
You've earned that trust?
Huh?
You've earned that trust?
There was like 3 or 4 different times where after that play happened, you could watch Travis play during the game, and there was as soon as they lined up on the line of scrimmage, you can tell he understood the coverage and where the ball was supposed to go. And you could see guys who get frustrated because they're not in the game or not put attention to detail in how they run that route, not finish a route, not routes over, they didn't get the ball and then go find a block and just literally shut the play down right there. There was at least 3 or 4 times after that I pointed that out to my wife, like, watch him make this play. Case in point, the last play of the game. He is the one making basically the pick play on that. He could not give the right detail of that play and literally allow the defender to see it and break on it earlier. And you would never know it if you don't know how the play's supposed to play out in the game and like really know football. But he did those things right, knowing like I'm lining up, dog. I'm not touching this ball.
Right.
He didn't even look
so
back.
I can loaf, I can lollygag, I can make sure I don't have any attention to detail in how I run this route, and they can blow up the play. But making sure you do those things. So, like, things like that, when you see, okay, he blew up, but then when I can also go to critical times in the game and I can literally watch the film and watch him do that, and you're like, all right, bro, whatever. You've built up this rapport to be able to do that.
I think he was more frustrated that he wasn't
in the game.
Yeah, not because he didn't get the ball.
It was in the game at the time.
Because he wasn't in the game. Yeah. He was like, if I was in the game,
maybe that doesn't happen.
As a competitor, he's like, maybe that doesn't happen. Maybe I make the better block. Maybe I'm there to recover the fumble. Like, he just wants to be. He's earned that right to say I want to be on the field every time as much as I can. And so, I didn't look too much into it. Some people hated it. Obviously,
Oh, it
didn't
would be a
matter.
huge narrative if they had lost.
Well, they're at the point right now where it's how can we find a way to tear down this thing. So
the Golden State
people
Warriors.
they're gonna wear that out more than
And then
anything.
going back to like the overtime rules, Patrick Mahomes said earlier on SportsCenter that had the Chiefs scored a touchdown, had they were being down a touchdown, Chiefs would have scored and gone for 2.
Yeah.
They had already discussed that. So
Brian Kelly.
even more of the reason, why would you not get the ball first?
I really don't think I think it happened fast.
Now, here's the other question. Let's say the Chiefs get the ball first. They score first. You think they go for 2? First? Say you guys score and get a 2-point conversion? I don't think so. But
It doesn't matter because before you
then you
get
get
to
the
that
kill
question
shot
is if they got the
for the
ball
third
first,
possession.
do they go for it on 4th down when they went for it, or do they punt it at that
Right.
point? Like there's so much other stuff that could have went on too
Right.
before that.
That's why you don't want the ball first.
Right, but I'm saying if they go first and they get the 2-point conversion, you're down 8, you're down 8. Now you got to score and go for 2. So like you basically got to score 2 touchdowns.
Right.
You know what I mean? I say 2 touchdowns, but you know what I mean? Like that
2
2-point
scoring plays.
conversion's like it's tough.
And they definitely would have run whatever play that they ran for a touchdown. If they had to go for 2, they would have saved that for the 2-point
It was called
conversion.
corn dog.
Probably.
I think that's what it's called, something like that. Drawn up by a janitor. When he was
It's
in,
so weird to me that people don't realize.
He was in Green Bay, I believe.
He said this before.
Yes, he's run that play. He beat the Eagles on that same play when he threw it to Tony.
Twice. He ran it to both sides of the field last year.
So that play to Tony to score a touchdown against the Eagles.
And there was literally
Same play.
there's no way to defend it. I don't know if you go back and watch
So
it.
Lance Moore 2-point conversion.
Hey, if
play.
you go back and watch it, it is literally
Sorta, yeah.
they motion that guy in, and you have to snap it at the right time. He has to run it and get to the spot at the right time because what happens is that corner has to come down, and now he just basically gets shielded like vision-wise because he can't see past Kelsey to understand that he's already outflanked. There's no way you can really cover
And
it.
think of the
LSU
two
ran it
guys-
also.
Think of the 2 guys who ran it. Tony, who can fly.
You don't have to be
Harmon.
fast. It's more of
no.
a
leverage.
Yeah, it's leverage.
all about leverage, for
It's
sure.
a leverage, and it's more of a patience type of play because you have to make sure that he runs it and then you go off of it.
Yeah.
You get that extra little bit of
Rub.
cushion, if you will, by being the off man. So you don't even have to be fast. It's literally, I got to have that point man, which was Kelsey, run this right. You have to get in his vision to where I can't.
Right.
Patrick, you have to snap it at the right time. That way he gets in that window.
It was
Yep.
the LSU Alabama play too from the 2-point conversion.
Similar. I mean, not. He didn't go in motion and go back. So
He
what
came
happens
across.
is
It's the same thing. Like you're creating almost a
you're
like a
trying
head
to create
start.
leverage. Is
Yeah.
what you're trying to do. But what this is a man cover, so he knows he's got man. So he's coming back. He's out leveraging him. Now he's going there. He's putting his foot in the ground, coming back. He's already got the advantage.
The man switches at that point,
Yeah.
right? So like he's starting when he comes in motion. That corner has outside man, has the widest man, what no longer happens when he comes in motion.
He's no longer the outside.
He's
man.
no longer the outside man, so the leverage switches to the tight end, the point man, right? But you can't see him, which means he's right behind him. They snap it. He's thinking, I got the tight end. You can't make that decision that quick.
Right. Now the guy inside has to go and cover McCole Hardman.
He'll never
who's
get
getting
there,
shielded.
'cause you
He
have to
can't
get
get there
around
because
him.
he got too much traffic in front of him.
So like it's leverage, but they out scheme you in that situation.
Which
you can't play
both
that.
offenses. I know people were upset early in the game, but both of those guys,
It was a
Kyle
title fight.
Shanahan and Andy Reid, like they draw that up. Everything they do is about motions and leverage and matchups and making sure that you put the defense at a disadvantage and getting your guy in the matchup they needs. And it was pretty cool
Chess.
to watch. Yep, no doubt.
It's crazy what happens when you get like a quote-unquote unbelievable great, right? Belichick, people forget, like, Drew Bledsoe was a really good quarterback, and they had just paid him, but he got a great after that, right? And they go on those runs. The Eagles were in the NFC Championship 3 different times with McNabb, with Terrell Owens, and all those dudes. And then all of a sudden he comes here and gets an all-time great. And now you don't remember what Andy Reid did back then. So it's crazy what happens when you are able to kind of match that coach with that player on that side,
Yep.
and it turns into something just completely different.
No doubt. No doubt. So that was a great breakdown of a wide receiver route. We're going to maybe do some breakdowns of some swings later on the show. But before we do that,
What position group are we getting into today?
Position groups. LSU baseball is 4 days away. Today's Monday. Doesn't count. Over with almost.
National
6
holiday.
Yeah, national holiday. So you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on the 4th day, big game, opening day of the season. Weather's going to be not as brutal as it normally is for opening day, especially because of the 2 o'clock game. And so leading up to that, to get everybody hyped up, we've talked a lot about baseball recently. We're going to talk a lot more about baseball. Our show's going to be consumed with baseball pretty much for the rest of the season, the rest of the year.
Seam heads.
Yeah, sure. We can be that if that's what you want. You can be that. That's
Okay.
you. That's just you. But
Gotta go get my helmet
LSU's
airbrushed.
poised and staffed to have another deep run to the postseason, right? I think that they are one of the favorites to win the World Series. It's hard to win it twice, or hard to win it back-to-back years. It's going to be a different-looking team, but it's going to be a very talented team. And I think the biggest part of that is we've talked about that a lot is the depth of pitching staff. We've talked about who the starters are going to be, what's the rotation going to be, what's the starting lineup going to be. We talked about how deep the bullpen is, but I really want to go into how deep I really think the bullpen is. Okay? You have your three starters that you imagine are going to start. Thatcher Hurd, Luke Holman, and Gage Jump, right? Holman and Jump are two transfers. Obviously, Jump did not throw last year. He was coming off of Tommy John, so still to see kind of what's going on with that. I've heard good reviews about him, but, you have guys to fill in if he doesn't start. Holman's a preseason All-American. Thatcher Hurd's a preseason All-American. Those two guys are going to be your 1 and 2, 1A, 1B starters. When you get past that, and I think you saw last year how important the bullpen is, right? You have to have the depth. You have to have the guys that you trust to throw in there to be able to throw strikes. And LSU went through their period last year in the season that wasn't great. A lot of it was because they weren't able to get guys out, and they weren't able to finish guys off, and they were giving up more runs than they had normally had done throughout the course of the year, and part of that was the bullpen. And so, the bullpen's a very major key to.
Is it fair to say maybe just previewing it, probably the most improved part of the baseball team, or the most potential?
I think the most potential. I think the most depth.
I think it's the deepest part of it.
Yeah, I think last year had everybody stayed healthy, you'd be like, damn, that was the best bullpen I've ever seen in college baseball, right? You had so many guys that were able to do a bunch of different things, through really hard. Now a lot of those guys got hurt. This year, you're going to have a lot of those guys that have the ability to throw really hard and get outs, but you're going to have a better mix of lefties and righties. You're going to have a better mix of guys some experienced veterans, and some super, super talented freshmen that probably have no business being in college, right? And so I want to go down a few of the names that you're going to see a lot of. Griffin Herring is one. Now, I think he's a wild card because I think that if something happens to Gage Jump or he doesn't really – I think you could see Griffin –
anywhere in the rotation.
Be in the rotation. I think he's the first guy that they're going to throw in the rotation because they like to have at least one lefty in the rotation. They didn't have a lefty starter last year in the rotation. Now you do. So he will be out the pen. He'll be kind of a swing guy. He'll come in some big moments. But if there's a spot in the rotation, I think you could see him sneaking in. Nate Ackenhausen.
I would say the same thing about Nate Ackenhausen, just from
same
what you
role.
saw.
But I think he's going to be more high leverage. He's going to be like, you're going to get me out of some situations. You may be first or second lefty out of the bullpen. Come in there and kind of give us extended innings. He was a big reason why they won the national championship last year. And, with the 6 innings of, when he had to start the game in the World Series. So you have him. And then
I think you'll see Nate in that Riley Cooper role. It feels like that's exactly like they're kind of cut from the same. I know they were roommates, and I know they look similar, but they also play similar, where they're like unfazed to a point where it's just like ball.
Then you have another guy coming out the bullpen. This is the guy we've talked about. The guy you're excited to see a lot of. Number one recruit coming in LSU, right?
Yeah.
Cam Johnson. Talk a little bit about him.
So, he's one of the ones. So I have 3. My personal, I guess 3. 3 from the left-handed side, because there are so many left-handed arms on this team. So I think about, first off, there is names. There's names like a mentioned Griffin. There's names like who else we got on this thing? We also have somebody like a Javen Coleman. There's guys that I want to see what step they make forward this year, because obviously there's a step that needs to be taken forward. But for me, there's 3 left-handed pitchers that I expect to start the year out of the pen, but I want to see what kind of impact they have, because they're all newcomers that we have not seen throwing purple and gold yet. But we're talking about Lure, we're talking about Anderson, and we're talking about Cam Johnson, obviously the one you just mentioned is the biggest one, right? Those three, I want to see what kind of impact they have and what kind of role, what kind of spot they can dig out for themselves and where you can expect to see them as the season kind of goes.
And we've heard a lot about Lure from the guys on the team, from coaches on the team.
For some reason, he's kind of the one that's gone under the media radar, if you will. But the guys on the team it is nothing but plus.
First three guys they mentioned out of the bullpen and out of the pitching, the guys that they're excited to see is Justin Lure. Like Tommy White mentioned it below. He probably talked about it too. But Milazzo and Travinsky both talked about it last week when they were on the show. He's not going to have the most electric fastball, but last year he had a 1.89 ERA and 57 innings and he dominated.
But the delivery's deceptive. And apparently he is very, very demanding up there.
Yeah, right. And he's going to control it. He's going to sink it. He's going to pitch you to death. And those guys, we've seen, those guys give LSU issues. Those guys give a lot of teams issues if you know how to pitch and you know what to do, and you get these guys to kind of expand the zone. It seems like he's doing that plus some here, and I think that's a guy that everybody should be excited about. His role could expand as the season goes.
You say expand, I really think too. Like, if that guy is as good with command and as good as being able to get ahead in counts as you think, don't be surprised if you start seeing him towards the back end of games. Nothing against Gavin. I think Gavin has got the obvious first shot. That's not even a question. But jumping to year two, we'll see what happens, right? And I'm not even saying like I don't believe in him. I've just seen, if I go to the thought of like, hey, if you have that many guys, if you have that many dudes that are available and can do it, one would assume that a coach would say, hey, I'm going to find ways to end games as easy as I can. So if that means I don't have to throw Gavin 2-3 times in a row, don't be surprised if you see that name start to sneak in the back into some games too. That's all I'm saying.
Nope, I'm with you 100%, right? And you talked about Cam Johnson being a freshman. I think the biggest
That's what I was going to ask.
question mark
Is where?
with freshman pitching, it's not necessarily where, it's how consistent are they going to be filling up the zone? How many strikes are you going to throw? Because here's the deal. When you're in high school and you're playing against high school competition, you throw 97, 98 miles an hour, and you're that elite, you're going to get wild swings at pitches that may not be
Near the zone.
perfect, right? Like they're just trying to hit. They're trying to survive,
They were out before they got in the box.
no doubt, right? And so you get some guys that may get in some bad habits if they don't hone it in or they don't play in these big competitions, which he did, but you come to college, it's a whole different thing. Better strike zone discipline, more talented hitters you're going to face day in and day out, more pressure, more people in the stands. So that's the biggest question mark. How quickly can these freshmen adjust and throw strikes and be ahead of the zone and be able to use their stuff? How quickly can they do that? And so I think that's the biggest question mark with Cam Johnson. If he can do that, he's back into the bullpen, starter type guy all day, right? I don't think they're going to start him early in the year. Maybe he shows that he can do it, maybe later on, but back into the bullpen type guy for sure.
Obviously talented, right?
Very talented.
Because of everything that came in with him, and you didn't expect him to even be at LSU. Like, it felt like he was going to be a first-round draft pick. With that said, where do you see him? Like, how would you kind of bring him along? Like, do you throw him right in the fire, or do you?
I'd put him in the bullpen, throw him an inning, and I'd ease him that way.
And not high leverage situations.
I'd like to see him whether it's high leverage or not, I'd like to see him be one of those guys that's like first out of the pen when starter's being pulled. So whether that means he went 5 and a third and you're bringing him in with a runner on second, whatever. But I think he's one of those guys where you kind of want to see, I want to put him in some good situations, but also situations where the game isn't completely lost. Because I don't know the kid at all. I don't know his mental or any of that, but you don't want to lose him mentally.
Right, that's what I would, yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we can't put him in high leverage situations. You get what I'm saying? Like high leverage situations, being up 3-1 with a runner on second and third and him coming in, that's still high leverage.
Right.
We just got time at the end of the game to actually get it back. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not shying away from the high leverage situation, but I also want him to be very confident in what he goes out there and does, because I do think one huge thing that's going to be with him is not so much – especially early on, not so much if he can land and throw that off speed, his second pitch for strikes is can he get swings and misses with it?
Yeah.
Right? Because I think if he gets swings and misses with it earlier, that's gonna turn into him being able to land it in the zone later on, which is I think is when you see him if he's able to do those two things.
You want to see him go from a question mark to an exclamation point.
Yeah.
If he's
Where it's
able to
when
do
he comes in, you're like, oh shit.
with that size, with that fastball, if he's able to do those two things, I wouldn't be surprised in any capacity that he's actually thrown out there to pitch in because now you're looking at an absolute dude.
Right. 100%. Right. And so that was one. And the other one you mentioned, another freshman is K. Anderson from Louisiana, left-handed pitcher.
Hasn't been talked about at all.
I mean, some of the coaches and stuff, but like he's a freshman, right? So
Yeah.
like he's gonna have to come along, same type of thing. He can touch 94 from the left side. You know, I'd imagine with the way he's worked out and how he's trained, his velo may tick up. Now he's coming off of Tommy John, didn't pitch at all his senior year in high school, but he's 100% healthy, and so I think that's another guy that you could see have a big role. They're very high on him. They're gonna probably ease him along, but I think the common theme in this conversation is you have a lot of left-handed pitchers, right? And which is great, but you got to mix that with some dominant right-handed pitchers. All we've talked about right now has been left-handed pitchers. We have not mentioned a right-handed pitcher right yet. But we're about to. You have Gavin Guidry back.
Yep.
He's going to be your closer. He's going to be your
He is your ace in the hole.
yeah. So either that's going to be in the ninth in a tight game, or they're going to put him in the most dangerous situation. Hey, you're going to end the inning, momentum killer, that type guy, which is what Major League Baseball does now with their best bullpen guys. Some guys they'll have their closer, but then they also have their hey, get me out of trouble guy, no matter where that is, and that seems like it's going to be him. I think he's going to be the closer, but as the season unfolds, with some other guys, you may see him
Because you have
pitch
so
in
many
different
options.
And that's
you can-
another reason why I brought up Lore at the back end of games is because of how you could possibly be seeing them use Gavin, right?
Right.
Like he
Stopper.
may come in with he may come in the game with 2 outs in the 6th, right? And now he goes for 2 and a third. Well, who's finishing the game?
right.
Right? Maybe we don't want to extend him that far. Maybe we do want to bring him back on Sunday. We can't have him. He can't throw 50 pitches and come back on the next day, right? So I do think like their ability to use him in there and basically be a stopper and or a closer and or however it works out with them too. You never know. Like I could see that other guy getting some, but I expect because of his bulldog mentality, because of his demeanor on the mound and how he goes after
Psychopath.
everything. Hey, same guy's there, man. And it'd be crazy to see if he also and it's so funny too that we're sitting here talking about it when I sit here and I watch a 93, 94 mile an hour fastball. It's like, hey, could you imagine if he, had 1 or 2 more miles an hour on that thing? But that's what baseball is today.
Well, and that's been the biggest thing he's worked on, right?
Yeah.
With Yeski coming in, he's worked on trying to increase his velo, and I think with him being
Because he's always got the fucking hammer.
right,
Yep.
always he'll let you know it, and which is great. That's his pitch. That's
And he
his
can throw
out
it in
pitch.
any count.
Any count, right? But you saw a little bit in Omaha. You saw a little bit towards the end of the year. I mean, he wasn't prepared to pitch like he did last year, right? He was as an infielder. He wasn't pitching at all in the fall, and so you could see it like, okay, hey, we're gonna like sit on the breaking ball, or we're gonna do some other things and make you
Work.
yes. And now with him knowing, hey, you are primarily going to be the pitcher right now. You're going to be a pitcher. You're still going to hit and do those things, but we're gonna build you up. We're going to save the arm. We're going to work on the arm. We're going to develop the arm. We're going to make it bigger. I think that you're going to see a little bit of an uptick in velo anyway from him, and I think that guy is going to be a stud this year, right? So that's one righty. We've talked about Aiden Moffitt. Now he's gonna be very dependent upon if he's gonna be able to throw strikes.
He's your wild card, yeah.
He's the wild card. If he
You
can
got
throw
to do
strikes,
if he can throw strikes consistently.
right? But if he can't, you can't throw him in there in these high leverage situations. But he's the guy that he throws 100-mile-an-hour sinkers. Now he's got to be able to throw strikes.
No, you heard it. 100.
100 miles an hour mile-an-hour sinkers. Aiden Moffitt. Yeah, exactly. He didn't redshirt, but he barely pitched last year. And his ball moves this much, and it's at 99 miles an hour. Yeah, but problem is, the strike zone's it comes in and out every now and then, right? And so if he can find it, you're going to see him throw a lot. and it's going to be explosive, and it's going to be electric, and guys are not going to like facing him. That's just not fun. But he's a wild card. You have transfer from Alabama, Cade Woods, right? He's got experience. I think you're going to see a lot of him. I think that was a big get for the bullpen. He's going to be a righty out the bullpen. I mean, he's got some electric stuff. You know, he threw 29 and a third innings for Alabama last year and struck out 30.9% of the batters he faced.
And they were trying to lose.
Yeah.
He didn't know it.
Yeah, and he didn't know they were trying to lose, but they were trying to lose. And then the last righty, there's more on the roster, but we don't have time to go through everybody. The last righty, I think that people are going to be very excited to see. People probably don't remember his name. He didn't pitch. He wasn't relevant at all last year because
Don't bury the guy.
we got hurt in his fall. He had Tommy John in the fall as a freshman. Jaden Newt. He was the number 1 right-handed pitcher out of California. California is known for having some pretty good baseball players, pretty good baseball state. He was the number 1 right-handed pitcher coming out of high school out of California, comes to LSU, gets hurt, has Tommy John, doesn't pitch, but he's going to be a guy that, you know, Jay's mentioned him 2 or 3 times on our show talking about the bullpen. He always drops his name, and I think that's a guy that you're going to see him once he's 100% healthy. They're going to try to ease him back. Once he's healthy, I think you're going to see him make a lot of big moves in the rotation.
He's one. When they came in last year, it was wait until you see Jaden Newt, wait until you see Chase Shores.
Yeah.
You obviously got a good chance to see Chase Shores because he threw a good bit before he got hurt. Jaden got hurt much before that conversation even really kicked up. He's another one, straight up wild card right now because we don't know. We're not inside the program, right? We don't know. If he stays healthy and is able to get back to that level where he was, watch out.
And here's the deal. We're talking about these guys, and these are the guys that some of you heard of. Oh, look at you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is him in high school. But, clean mechanics, very easy. Mm-hmm. You know, he's not trying – look, and this is him throwing before an inning. He's not trying to let it eat here, right? That's 92.
Let me tell you what.
This guy has no chance. Little run?
That's 92 in high school that's easy with some movement. I mean, 72. Was that 72?
Yeah, it's a little breaker, a little bunt. But that fastball's got run.
It's got some run. I mean, look at it move. He's got
late life
slider.
too. Yeah.
You know, now this is high school. This is not obviously college, but his rotation, his mechanics look really good. When he's missing, he's not missing by a ton. And this is, that's filthy.
I mean,
that's filthy, dude. That's so hard to hit. I mean,
I feel like that gun's a little down too.
Yeah. Ugh. I mean, look at that. The guy has no chance. 0. And this is in high school. I'd imagine he's even better now.
They talked about him like that for a reason last year.
I mean, he went through a whole year. That was 93. He went through a whole year of rehab. What happens sometimes? That was not 100.
No, the gun's getting.
No, that was 106. That's why.
Yeah.
What happens after you come off of Tommy John sometimes? Some guys come on throwing harder.
These days, yeah.
So I'm excited about him. Now, these guys we've talked about, these are some of the new faces.
Rogan Blausen.
We didn't even talk about the guys that already have coming back.
Yeah.
The veteran guys that have thrown, maybe haven't made a ton of noise on the mound, but have ability to make noise, right? You have Bronzini. He's another lefty. He threw a little bit last year towards the end of the year. You have Sammy Dutton, who you have all these guys who are going to be able to go out there and throw strikes, and they're going to continue to develop and get better and get better. And you never know which one of those guys are going to make a step forward, right? Micah Bucknam, he's been here. This will be his second year. He had some time last year. Chase Shores is going to come back, obviously off injury, hopefully at the end of the year, and maybe throw a couple innings. DJ Primo, Jay was pretty high on him. He talked about how he made a bunch of adjustments. He got redshirted last year. Will Helmers. That's another guy. He's been here. He's a senior.
Yep.
He's a big dude. He's a lot bigger than I thought he was. He's a great dude to have on the team. He's been around. You know,
You have more-
I think he's got some stuff behind him, and I think he's going to be able. You're going to see him pitch some meaningful innings. Like you have a lot of guys. You have Christian Little still
I was
on the
about to
team.
say this before on the list.
You know, and so like we talked about a big group of guys that are new that you could see, and we didn't even talk about the guys that are already here. So
And we didn't talk about all of the incoming guys. Like there's still some names on here
Right.
we haven't seen throw yet who came in with big names. We just want to see like if they're going to translate and play well here.
Yep,
Like
no doubt.
the list isn't stopped yet. That's why it's got the makings to be one of the best pitching staffs you've ever seen. Now it's just can you go out there and do it?
Now I want to make a talk about like, oh, you know, we already seen those guys. They're not good. They can't pitch here. They're not good enough. Well, let's not be so sure in that, right? There was a guy by the name of Lewis Coleman that threw here. Pitched as a freshman in the rotation. Didn't pitch great. Wasn't terrible, but kind of got hit around a little bit. Next year, not great, Bob. Like, didn't pitch really well.
Maybe leave
to
the
the point
team.
where they try to make him a submarine guy. To the point where, hey, you're going to be buried on the bench. You're not going to throw at all. To the point where Coach Maneri said you
Maybe we
may
should go
need to
left-hand low.
You may need to look into transferring.
Oh.
He says, I don't want to do that. This is where I want to be. I'm going to fix my stuff off the field as far as going to school and make sure my grades are better. But I'm also going to do what I need to do to pitch here. He went from submarine back up to the top, trying to figure out where his arm slot. All of a sudden, he finds the arm slot.
You mean all of a sudden he found the on deck hit circle?
He
to
found,
step
hey,
up?
I'm going to step this way. I'm going to throw this way. I'm going to throw across my body, and I'm going to throw 93, 94 miles an hour. And you're going to think, the righty's going to think I'm throwing from behind him. And then I'm going to throw this big slider where you're not going to like that
It's
either.
going to start in the dugout, and you have to try to hit
Yep.
it. Yeah.
You're not going to love that. And so he figured it out. All of a sudden, he had to earn coach's trust back. He throws his junior year, mop-up duty. Hey, you're going to throw. We're up 10, down 10, whatever. You're going to throw. A couple innings here. Okay. Well, man, he went in one inning, struck out 2, no runs. All right. Okay, we're going to give you a couple more of those. Oh, he's throwing well. Okay, maybe we're going to give you a little bit better. Guy gets knocked out early. Not necessarily a blowout, but we're going to see what you can do. Okay, now he's throwing really well. Now he ends up becoming the closer. They go to Omaha in 08. He is 7-0 with like a 1-something ERA going into Omaha. And ends up giving up a home run, but threw lights out to the point where the year before, coach was trying to say you need to transfer. After his junior year, coach is trying to recruit him back to LSU for his senior year to not go to the draft. Comes back as a senior, becomes SEC Pitcher of the Year, starting on a Friday, wins the national championship on the mound, gets to the Major League Baseball, pitches 7 years in the big leagues. My point in saying all of that is just because a guy is here for a few years and you kind of get stale and you don't see him have the success that you would hope that you have early on in his career, sometimes those guys develop later and sometimes they figure something out and it clicks and they take off.
Don't write them off.
Don't write them off is my point. That's my point. That's why I think the depth of the pitching staff is so good because you have the ability to have guys like that you're going to look up. I mean, last year, right? Like every year there's somebody you look up and like, damn, I wasn't expecting him to have that. You weren't expecting Gavin Guidry to do what he did last year. You weren't expecting Nate Ackenhausen to throw 6 innings in the World Series and win you the World Series.
I mean, I tell the story all the time of whenever we were in Omaha the first time at the bachelor party after LSU had lost the second game to Wake Forest. Like, they lost the first one, obviously, of the tournament. And they're walking back. He's like, LSU just doesn't have enough pitching. They're not going to be like, it's the first time doubt had actually creeped in on some of these balls that we're watching LSU. I was like, they still get to play. And then you get a nasty Nate.
Right.
Like, somebody can deal from the have to every now and again.
Yep.
You're like, you're salty enough to get through it. But now LSU it feels like you got dudes everywhere.
No doubt.
If it like on paper for sure.
No doubt.
And somebody in the chat was asking because let me pull up the exact question, but because of like the depth that you have, do you think that you have? It's from Kirk Landreneau, who's the golfer. Shorter leash this year with the depth of the staff. Like, do you think there'll be kind of a shorter leash for pitchers that come in relief or are starters because of how many guys you do have? Seemingly?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be the leash is going to be as long as Jay feels like it needs to be for these guys. Like,
because if somebody gets taken out, it doesn't necessarily mean a shorter leash. It's matchup based almost.
sometimes it's matchup based. Sometimes he sees it and he's like, okay, he's not. He's kind of lost the feel of his fastball or he's not around the zone as much.
You also get sometimes a longer leash when you realize, and coaches will give something longer when there's not that many guys that are trusted too.
Right.
So like if I got a ton of guys that I trust that I know will go out there and get strikes, you can start playing matchups or you can start playing hey, this may not be your best day. Let's go ahead and get to the next guy.
But there's not going to be a purposely scheduled, hey, you're going to throw 5 innings after like it's not going to be the analytics to Major League Baseball, at least I don't believe.
Or Wake Forest.
Where they say, hey, you're not going to face the lineup 3 times. Right? Like I don't think that's going to happen with the depth. But what I think it's going to happen is you're going to have more confidence going into some of these guys earlier than you would have maybe in years past.
Might be in for some long baseball games.
Potentially. Hopefully the starters are dominant and you don't have to worry about that. The starters go 6-7 innings and it's normal. Hopefully you're not taking guys out in the 5th or in the 6th inning, throwing 5 innings, and then you throw a guy in for 2 or 3 guys and then, having 17 pitching changes.
Hopefully that's really what it's going to come down to is you may see long baseball games if you don't get production out of the guys that are starting. It's really that simple. If you got guys that are going to go out there and get you out to start and do well, they're going to get you deep enough into games where we don't have to throw 5-6 guys out of the pen a night or whatever,
No doubt.
So like that's going to be really the key of it. Even it doesn't matter how good the pen is. If we can't find what we need up front, there's a very good chance that as deep as they seem like they are in the pen, you're going to run into we're not deep. We don't have enough arms, right? Because that's what it usually always turns out to.
For sure. And listen, a lot of these guys that are going to be out of the bullpen, like came out of high school as starters, right? So it's not like they're bullpen guys. Like that's going to be their role right now. There's a lot of these guys in the bullpen that are very capable of starting. Griffin Herring is one of them, right? So you're going to see him get some starts. Cam Johnson is another, right? I don't know how many starts Cam's going to get this year, but
Over under.
he'll be wow.
Over
Starts?
under how many starts?
Mm-hmm. That's hard because
5 over under.
You think he's going to get 5 or over? You want to set
I
that
said
line?
the over under at 5.
Okay. What do you think over under the line?
I think he goes under.
I think it goes under too.
Because here's the thing.
I'd say he gets 2 or 3.
Yeah. So under.
Yeah.
That'd be the under.
Yeah, that'd be the under.
I-
If he gets 5, that means he's good at it.
If he gets 5, if he gets to 5 stars, whoa! I got frozen. That's a bad.
Oh, that's a bad visual there.
Yeah. If he gets to 5,
If he gets to 5, there's 2 things that happens. One, obviously he's doing really well, but you also either have an injury or somebody that you were counting on the weekend already to not be as available for whatever the reason is.
Yeah.
I think.
yeah. If he gets 5, I think it'll be a good. It'll be good for him. If he gets 5, he'll be in the rotation a lot more. Like if he gets to that number, I think that shows that okay, he's probably going to be a starter this year. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to try to ease him into that role. Listen, there's precedent for it. Sonny Gray, first rounder, was a closer at Vandy his whole freshman year. Then started the next 2 years, first rounder. Carson Fulmer, same thing at Vandy, closer, starter. We've talked about this. There's precedent
Zach Hess.
saying, yeah, David Price.
I go off the mindset of just thinking
Because of the competition.
this simple.
All 3 of them I just said from Vandy.
I just go off the mindset of thinking this simple. Like to be able to come in and be a freshman starter at a school like LSU in the conference like the SEC, honestly, is there has to be a already known, pretty much unquestioned. And this is no knock to him either. Like maybe he's developed it and maybe he'll continue to develop it and go. But you already have to pretty much have legit pitch ability. Mm-hmm. Meaning not just one explosive pitch is, hey, he lands and throws this slider really well. Hey, he also has a very good changeup that he can throw strikes for.
Right.
I think that's the only reason that he's landed here is because they don't know how that was going to play out. Because think about it. And the only reason I'm saying this is you got to think about it. Who didn't pitch here last year that still ended up being a sandwich pick? Because they knew he could pitch.
Oh, you're talking about I forget his name. Starter. He was a starter. Supposed to be a starter. Then it was supposed to be a closer. Righty throws like 97. Can you please give us a name so I stop sounding like an idiot right now?
You want me to freeze you again?
Huh?
You want me to freeze the camera again?
No. Do you know it?
No. I know who he's talking about. I'm in the same boat that you are.
Talk to me, Lloyd.
I don't know his name. I know I know what you're talking about. He was a compensation pick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
White Sox.
He signed for like 1.5.
Oh, that's not good.
Huh? What do you mean? You don't know. They do well with pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
They do well.
I knew I didn't want this jersey to have sleeves on it.
Okay.
Oh, God. My point is, listen,
What's his goddamn name?
you're the producer.
Ugh. Ash Jeeves?
Ask Jeeves. That's where you're going, huh?
Oh, nobody in the chat. Why aren't you looking it up?
Grant.
Grant Taylor.
Grant Taylor. Number 51 overall to the White Sox.
There you go.
My point is,
God,
going
that
back
was
to it.
brutal.
So Grant's able to get, he's a compensation pick without throwing a single pitch because they knew it was that explosive. We know Camp's fastball is that explosive. If they were sold on the pitchability, I think someone says, hey, draft him anyway. We'll make sure he gets healthy here. So I think that's where the one question is on him still, right? This is where he gets a chance to come and show it.
Agreed.
SEC academic, all first team, Grant Taylor.
Yeah, but
That'll get you drafted.
that'll get you drafted.
I'm not sure that's what got him drafted.
Had been the howitzer.
I'm not sure that's how
Yeah,
it worked.
I think it's the carry in the 97.
Yeah.
I think that's what did it. But, yes, I agree with everything you just said.
So,
Um,
it's no knock. I haven't seen him throw a single pitch yet myself, but that's just my guess.
it's going to be a fun year. It's going to be a different type of year. Now, listen, on Wednesday, we'll break down lineup. Do you want to break down some swings?
I got him if you want him.
Or should we wait until Wednesday?
We should probably let's do it Wednesday. What we should have done is done this in reverse, done the swings today, and then talked pitching with Doug. But what we will do is probably talk.
We're not going to have Doug for that long because you got to call the game.
Right. Okay.
So
Well,
we can
then-
still talk pitching.
we
We'll
did
talk-
it right.
We'll talk starters.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna ask you, do we want to save it for Wednesday? Who do you think
No, we'll
starts on
save Doug
Friday?
for that because then we'll actually have a decent idea what the for
Yeah,
sure rotation is.
We'll talk starters with Doug.
Yeah.
Because Jay is already playing the mind games early on, whether it be the 2 p.m. starter, not naming a starter, all the things that the fans love about
The Friday night starters, either gonna be Holman or Hurd. If I had to put money on it, I'd put money on Hurd to be the Friday night guy.
Yeah, I'd imagine so too.
That's what I would imagine. Now, if it stays that way, I don't know, but that's what I would have to pick.
it. People are saying in the chat that Hurd got bopped around on his start in the scrimmage, but I don't think that really
think that
carries
matters.
much weight. Yeah,
Listen, here's the deal. These scrimmages right now,
probably hungover.
the pitchers are sick of it, and you're facing. Listen. I guess my biggest. The only way I can really. I'm saying not the only way because I've done it, but like, you're seeing the same guys over and over and over and over again. The more you see a guy, I don't care if he throws 107 miles an hour. The more you see him and the more bats you get off of him, the more comfortable you're going to be and the better you're going to have, the more success you're going to have off of him. That's just the way.
Or
it
vice
goes.
versa.
That's just what. Yeah, if you don't see a guy for a long time, forever,
See,
like you don't, for
Phil-
much, and he gets you out, that's experience is a big thing.
Yeah, when I was here, feel bad if you were giving up hits to me because I was basically showing up 3 weeks and I had never seen you all fall.
Right.
The rest of these guys have seen you all fall.
Right.
And now you get to see you in the spring as well. They're tired of throwing to the same
Yeah.
dudes. They know what the break is. They know what the carry is. They've seen it out of your hand. They know your release point.
And they know as a hitter, you know how they're going to attack you now. Like the same guy is the same thing. You see how the pitch is shaped. You see his rotate. You see how his wind up. You see how his timing is. Like you see all of that, right? So you get more comfortable with that. So it's easier to have success, right? During the alternate site, during COVID, we had to go and you had an alternate site and you had to face the same arms that were always there. We had to scrimmage each other the whole game, whole time for the 2 months. And like my first 2 weeks, not great. Like one, didn't feel great. Two, I'd never seen these guys, and you have lefties throwing 98, you have righties throwing 100, and you're like,
I don't know if
I
any
don't
of this
really
matters.
know. I don't really know what this guy looks like. I haven't seen him. Like, there's not video. It's not like whatever. It's not a real game, so you have to kind of like get yourself up. And then after the third week, I went from not doing anything to hitting like 500 for the next month and a half. Now, didn't count, but like that 98 that I was seeing that like looked a little different out of his hand. Now I know how it's going to come out, right? And so it's just you get more experience. So don't put too much stock into
The scrimmage numbers.
Right? One way or the other, pitching or hitting. It's just kind of at this point they're just ready for the season to start. Get to the season healthy and ready to go. That's kind of where it's at.
I guess they do this with the machine, right? Like, because I'm thinking about, like, if you're getting ready for a insert Friday night starter in the SEC that you know kind of what he looks like, do you just dial up, like, the pitching machine? You don't have, like, guys that throw like him.
No. I mean,
like you would for, like, a scout team quarterback,
you can't simulate a pitcher, right? I mean, unless you have a guy that has similar, but, like, very rarely does someone repeat
Would you
the
burn him
exact
like
same
that?
thing. They've created a pitching machine now. LSU, I don't think, has it, but
They have one very similar.
very similar, right? So they've created a machine that I started using my last year when I was in Chicago.
Wii baseball?
Yeah. Tampa was the first one to kind of bring it to professional baseball, of course. But basically, it's a machine.
Then they traded it for some
And
picks?
you type in the machine, into the pitching machine, like the computer, the spin rate of the pitcher, of his fastball, of his breaking ball. It has all like the analytical spins, like, oh, it's got, vertical spin of this or blah, 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 that. You type it in, the pitching machine calibrates it, and it spits it out, and it's similar to the shape and carry that you're going to see from the guy. Now, you're not going to get the wind up, and you're not going to get his release point, the arm slot, and all that stuff, but you're going to get what the pitch is going to look like as far as like carry, fastball, what the break on the slider is going to look like. So, yeah, it's like that's what they would do. I think LSU's got something similar to that.
Yeah.
I would hope so. If not,
no, I'd imagine they do.
break up.
But LSU's they play VMI on Friday, Central Arkansas on Saturday, VMI on Sunday, and Central Arkansas on Monday. So you get a 4-game series. So you're going to see 4 starters this weekend, which I'm excited to see because I want to see who that 4th starter is going to be. Who's going to be the midweek guy? Who's going to be the guy that he has a lot of confidence in right now as that number 4? Because you don't usually get that. You don't usually have 4 games in a row. But that's what I'm looking forward to. But, yeah, we're going to break down these swings on Wednesday. And it's going to be Ask Mikey and Mitch. And hopefully we have a guest on Wednesday.
And here's one Ask Mikey and Mitch really quickly, just because it's in here and I just saw it. How do you like the new uniforms for LSU baseball? I wouldn't say new, but different, like just
I don't mind it.
a little bit
I don't mind
reinvented.
I like them.
I like them too. I don't know why people don't. I like piping.
Yeah,
The other ones felt like they were warm-up jerseys. It felt like you were in your.
I'm used to the piping, so I like
Yeah,
the piping.
maybe that's what it
I would
is,
rather
too.
piping.
I like the piping. Now, I don't know what the material feels like.
That is a whole different
I
jacket
think it's a
marbles.
whole different conversation.
Yeah, but aesthetically,
Looks
Good.
great. Looks great.
I'm big on the piping on the uniforms. I think it looks better.
bring back the black jerseys,
I don't know about that.
camouflage
The
hats.
black jersey actually didn't look bad. I just don't know.
I like to see him do it, not necessarily make
Maybe
it
a
a
special
mainstay.
night.
Yeah.
You don't like them.
No,
I like them.
it's an era that you just walk past.
It's not a jersey that you want to see a lot. Like it's not shouldn't be in the
Ever.
rotation.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, I wouldn't want to see him get to Omaha and they bring it with them. I want to see him wear it during the season, though.
Maybe once or twice. Maybe
once
like
or
a
twice.
special game or whatever. But
Midweek.
I like the
In
throwbacks.
February.
I think the throwbacks are sick. The pennies were always my favorite. The pinstripe. It used to be the midweek uniforms.
I like the all white with the piping.
I like that too. I don't mind the purple. Obviously, gold's the gold. You know, gold was never my favorite,
Oh, that feels to be the sentiment amongst the.
but it's
You got to do
tradition,
it.
Tradition, you gotta do it.
It seems to work.
No doubt. No doubt. Are you planning on going to the game on Friday?
There would be very few things that would keep me from it. One of them being a bachelor party this weekend.
So you're not going, unless you skip the bachelor party.
I'm thinking I'm gonna go Friday because it's during the day. Jay helped me out. I asked him to do a solid.
Oh, nice. LSU
afternoon.
did that.
So
Where's the bachelor party? New Orleans.
That's a good question. We're going on a boat.
Okay, that's cool. That tells me nothing.
I know. I don't know where it is.
You're going on a boat.
Yeah, it's like a hunting country Lloyd. Going
Okay.
fishing.
So you're in Louisiana. Mm-hmm. Are y'all going to Venice?
Probably. I don't know.
You have no idea. You couldn't
No
even
clue.
like.
I'm looking it up right now.
Wow. Seems like you're invested in this.
Yeah,
bachelor
great
party.
bachelor party.
Seems like you I hope he doesn't watch the
Well,
show.
the thing is, there's one person in the group that has an Android, so we have to keep making new groups because we have to add like more people that get added to this group text.
So
we have to
if
redo
he
it every
had
time. So I've kind of washed my hands of it.
I was about to say, so if he had a iPhone,
Apple,
you would know.
I would be in the know.
You would know where it's at. Okay.
You just gave up?
That's usually
Yeah.
how it goes too for me. If it's an Android, I usually don't know.
Yeah. I do hate the individual text messages on Androids. Like, can we figure out how to put them in the group text?
Or just get a fucking iPhone.
Or get an iPhone?
Quit. The battle's over. You lost. Now you're just. I feel like I'm a.
People argue that Android's better, and I'm like, I just don't see how
I
that's the
don't see how
case.
it could be better than this.
I
I
don't
feel like
see how
I'm
it's
like
the case.
finishing off the war, and you're just like still kind of live, like just knocking off the.
Back in like this 1850s, and you
Yeah,
don't know the
I'm
war's over yet.
yeah, walking
You're
around.
still fighting for 2 months because the guy that was supposed to give it to you maybe died of.
Yeah,
of,
Pigeon didn't make it home.
He like the guy didn't make it there. He died from frostbite or something.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Yeah, and you fought for 2 months, and the war's been over.
Montague, Louisiana,
Okay, yeah, that's Country Lloyd.
Country Lloyd. I come back with a tattoo.
Where at?
My ass.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
You gonna choose some like you have some.
No,
chaw
I'd
in
probably
there?
go like barbecue. I might do chew. I might dip.
Okay.
Little
Couple.
chips.
Some camo on.
Yeah, Heineken Silvers.
Nice. Some boots.
Get some white ones. Some white
Yeah,
boots.
but-
Scrimping boots.
You're gonna be on the wall. You're gonna be on the. I got some white ones.
That's why I said it.
I mean, that's time to wear them. Some
Mikey went hunting with
Shrimp
some hard
boat
clouds
captain.
on.
some on clouds. Hey, tell you what. By the end of that first night,
You were
it was
ready?
It was so wet and muddy. People were jealous that I had my boots on, because I was
Not
easy to come off. It was clean. That's what they're made for.
easy to drink.
That's
easy
what they're
to
made.
pour.
That was easy to drink, easy to play. That's what they're made for.
Definitely gonna have some Heineken Silvers. It's
Definitely gonna have some Heineken
gotta go
Silvers.
full.
Hopefully, we got something else cooking up a little bit. Maybe another drink of choice potentially.
A little dark liquor.
Huh?
Dark liquor.
Well, maybe that too. That's not. No, not dark liquor yet. Maybe soon though. Working on that too.
Country
Got some
Lloyd.
things cooking.
Might do some whippets. I don't know what they do in the country. Find out though.
And when you spit, make sure you spit in like a bucket.
Blitz,
Like a steel
Bama
bucket
Blitz.
to where you hear the
Spittoon.
spittoon. All right.
Come back with a handgun.
Not concealed.
Not concealed.
Not concealed. Just on the waistband. Yep. I'm armed.
I'm
I got a
armed
license
and
to carry.
dangerous.
I got a license to carry.
License to kill.
Boots.
Boots. Scoots.
Belt buckle.
Oh yeah. Plaid.
But you can be on a boat, so this is more like the cowboy. You're be more on the boat side. So like maybe like some jorts, cut off shirt, straw hat.
Yeah. Little tweed.
Yeah.
Little hay.
Yeah.
Get
Relax.
some overall.
Overalls would be nice.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
undershirt.
No undershirt.
No undershirt. Pierced nipple,
Nipple.
maybe.
It took it right out of my mouth.
Yep.
Those are the days.
Those were the days. All right.
I'll take all of that into account.
Yeah,
But I will
please.
be going to the baseball game. I need to get
The game's at 2.
credential. I need to get
I'm working on it.
Pass,
Working on it. He knows.
because Jack's out there just
He knows.
gobbling up content.
He said Wednesday.
Perfect.
Should have it on Wednesday.
Down the sky doesn't lie.
Jack's been doing a great job. A lot of content. Bringing us a lot of good stuff to talk about.
It's a hard worker.
He is a hard worker. He likes baseball.
Yeah.
He gets invested in the baseball
I
system, which is
don't.
great.
You said.
You don't like baseball.
Yeah.
You don't like LSU baseball.
Not at all.
But you don't like baseball in general.
Right.
You're not a baseball fan.
Right. I gave up.
Disappointed.
I got my one in the MLB. That's all I needed.
You got your one.
Cubs got one. You're not going to win it again, ever.
Cubs are making some moves, though.
Yes. Once Theo left, I was out. That was my guy.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to our seggies.
Mistake of the day.
Mistake of the day is brought to you by our friends at Dozy Place.
And
Dozy Place.
that's it.
That's it.
My mistake of the day, we're back to the Super Bowl here, where, I don't know if you caught it, we did catch the stripper falling off the pole, but there was another background dancer that you happened to see in the background. I don't know if this was on purpose or not, but it did seem like it definitely caught the eye of everyone whenever you had Little John in the crowd, which was electric, elite, and then you had this person go up in the air.
Oh, yeah. Out of nowhere.
I don't know if that was planned or not, but it was definitely electric, and I hope he stuck it, whatever they were going
Out
for.
of nowhere. Like,
I don't remember seeing that at all.
I remember Allie was like, did someone just fly in the air? And And she was like, "Are they throwing them like cheerleaders?" Like that did not look like a cheerleader throw.
He went stiff though. He went for the
And is he dressed in the same attire that other people wore on stage, or is he just some random person?
I don't know. That's why it was interesting. All of it was exciting.
The way he was coming down don't look like that was planned.
Now, this could be a curtain call for that guy for maybe he got a job from it.
Right.
You
He
know,
definitely
maybe.
was seen.
Yeah, he put himself in a good spot. He may have broken his face.
Did you expect? I was not expecting Lil Jon in the crowd. That was
awesome.
Yeah, this is a wild scene.
Especially when they just said he just released or is releasing his Tranquility album, meditation album.
Meditation.
But wait, before I get this meditation off.
I got one more in.
Here's my question: how do you get on the field for that?
I don't know.
As a fan for the concert.
I think you get a pass.
Is this
I know,
the
but how do
same
you
thing
get-
as
how do
the
you-
kids for the home run derby?
Yeah, do they pick them? Do you have to buy the ticket, or is there a lottery? You put your name in, hey, you're picked out.
For some reason, I think that it's either they are coming just for the concert and not the game. I feel like I've heard that before, where they're kind of
No, see, I feel like they're a
extras.
part of the.
Yeah, the show.
They're part of the show. So
Yeah.
just extras. They get paid as extras, on
Yeah.
on.
No interest in football. But if you're there,
I wouldn't want to do that.
no.
Also, don't think that they should have kids in the outfield for home run derbies anymore.
I don't think so either.
I mean, it happens every year.
Not with as much as they're juicing up the balls. I mean, these kids are getting hit at 125 miles an hour.
I mean, and they cut the camera so fast because they
Listen to me.
know.
These kids are kids. Go
Yeah.
sit in the outfield and try to catch a ball being hit on a line with top spin at 120 miles an hour. I mean, it's hard for me to do that. I've played outfield my whole life. These kids are
They're not trying to hit them balls to catch.
no, they're not trying to hit balls that stay in the field of play. So
Yeah,
they're swinging
sometimes they
hard.
do.
Yeah, they're trying to hit balls hard and far.
That's the funniest thing that baseball does.
I'm like
Like,
how
when
are these
you-
kids still on there?
Yeah, at least you got to get some high school kids that's high school sophomores.
No,
No.
you got Make-A-Wish kids out there, and it's
You
a
got 11-year-old kids
disaster
out there just
scenario.
getting peppered with
They're running with their glove out like this and you're
top
not
spin
getting
line
no-
drives.
No
took
chance.
one off the shin. Oh my god.
No chance.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that.
No chance.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of it.
I'm not.
I don't know.
It's
I
gonna
don't like
end
seeing
not
it
very
because if
good
someone
for
gets
at
hit
least
right in
one.
the face, you're like, oh no.
Oh, they just cut away.
I know, but there's more balls are coming.
The people in the crowd can see it.
Oh,
Somebody
yeah.
sees it.
But
Terrible.
it's good. It's a good look for the game.
I don't know.
For the game.
I don't know about that.
It's a good mistake of the day.
Thank you.
Curtain call is brought to you by our friends at Assured Partners.
And
Me? What we got? I'm about to sneeze.
Sneeze.
want me to lead it off? I'll lead it off. It's a great day for the Kelsey household.
Yes.
Obviously, you got Travis goes out and wins another championship. He has this
You think people thought he was gonna propose? I think.
all-American story. Who knows? That people don't want to
Say he
see.
didn't.
That kind of got shoved down your
Huh?
throat this year. Then you also got the other side of it, who is Jason's wife, who says, you know what? I'll never put on another team's actual colors or apparel other than the Eagles. So she went there. I don't know if y'all noticed that. She had Cincinnati Bearcats
Yep.
stuff on. She did not have Chiefs stuff on.
Yep.
Right? So she wore that. But the curtain call is more geared to after the game. When the celebration goes on and you see the one who played the game celebrating this way and you see the one who showed up as a fan and you would swear it was his night. You can go ahead and run the clip.
So that's one. That's Travis with his boo.
The Swiftie. The Swift
Taylor Swift, who's living her best life.
This is championship
You know, listen.
celebration.
She's doing what he needs to do. He's
and
in
then
there.
this is a championship celebration.
And that is where Jason Kelsey is.
Now, mind you, this is a
With
37.
Marshmallow.
This is a 37-year-old man with a wife, with kids, and this is where he is.
And if you're
God
not
bless that lady.
and if you're not an avid wrestling fan and you're wondering what he's wearing, that is the Rey Mysterio mask that he is wearing with the DJ, who is Marshmallow, which is one of the best DJs out.
Yeah.
He is living his best life, and
He
I
is on his
love it.
own
Dude,
planet.
Jason Kelsey tour, watching Travis do what he does is awesome.
This is 2 weeks after he showed up in the freezing cold, no shirt on, Timberlands and sweatpants.
Yep.
And hopped into the away game stadium at the Buffalo, and you would swear that Buffalo thought he was rooting with them. He's like, I'm cheering for my brother, but
Timberlands and
you're
sweatpants.
too cool to turn down.
The Kelseys are on a rocket ship.
Elite.
They've been on one for like 2 years, and
Yep.
it's been unbelievable.
Yep. Love that. Great curtain call. What you got, Lloyd?
My curtain call, not nearly as cool as that one. I feel like I kind of used it all on the mistake of the day, but because there was so much that went to the Super Bowl.
Right. I mean, there's so many curtain calls you could have picked out.
Absolutely.
You know?
But I will throw it back LSU style to Clyde Drow and Neil Farrell, both becoming Super Bowl champions. Clyde Drow's second, and I believe he's second. With the big celebration, he's going to be a nurse at some point. So I don't know if this is his retirement tour for him.
He's not even 20. How old is he? 27?
Yeah, bad. But congratulations to Clyde and Neil Farrell, 2019 champs to Super Bowl champs.
Is it? And that was not Will Ferrell that was with him. I mean, Neil Farrell.
that's
or
Willie
Will.
Gay, who should have
That's
been
Willie Gay. That's why I said Will. Willie Gay. What?
Should have been an LSU Tiger. Flipped on signing day to Mississippi State for reasons unbeknownst to us.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Good player.
Great player. All right. I didn't know what to do. I had a lot that I wanted to talk about. We talked about Usher, right? And people were like, oh, Alicia Keys looked great. Swiss Beats is probably not happy with Usher because Usher got a little close
He put out a statement.
to Alicia Keys. Who did?
Swiss Beats.
Yeah, Swiss Beats laughed it off, apparently. Like, they're good. Well, Usher, not single, dating.
Got married.
But that's what I'm getting to.
Oh.
He had a longtime girlfriend, and they got married Super Bowl night. Or Super Bowl day on Sunday. So,
Stroke of midnight.
what a day.
Do you think he went to like the
What
little
a
house?
weekend for Usher. Huh? He went to a chapel, no doubt, or whatever. Like he did the whole Vegas get married
style
thing, I think. He didn't have a whole ceremony.
Yeah, they got the marriage license. I don't know. if
Oh,
they did all
okay.
this.
Yeah, they got married, officially married,
That's what
which
my
is
buddy-
great. What a weekend for him.
Yeah. What do you think that was like an ultimatum? Like after what I just saw you do with Alicia Keys, you better put a ring on it.
No.
It happened before it, honestly.
Yeah. Happened before it.
It happened during the Super Bowl trip, but it happened before it.
Testing the relationship early.
Listen, they've been dating for a long time.
I think she's probably seen some.
I think they've navigated through those things.
Confessions,
Let it burn.
part 2.
Yeah.
She
Lovers
didn't have
and
to call.
My boo. With Alicia Keys.
Started when they were younger.
God, what a look. I thought I was gonna be listening to Usher all day today, but I didn't.
Remember that? Yeah, just riding.
Because that was in my
Oh yeah.
I'm developing years of I'm in high school. Well, I was
My
kinda
balls
eighth
is high.
grade, then I go through high school, and now I'm in college. I'm it was when I was in college.
I mean, imagine the run that Peace Up, A-Town Down had in Alexandria.
Yeah,
Said it a lot.
yeah. I mean, it's he's iconic.
He is.
And he looks great.
Looks great.
Looks great.
Boy, money could do a lot for you, huh?
No
boy?
doubt.
He looks the exact same.
Listen.
Ain't cracked a bit.
Money, one thing. Listen, protein, a good diet, making sure that he's probably on the TB12 method. He's doing all natural.
All those things come very easy for you
you have
when
money.
you okay.
Plus the Botox, and plus the other stuff that
Veneers.
helps with keeping you young.
He looked great.
He looked great.
And it was an ultimate, that one hit hard.
Yep,
It was
that was
like,
a great one.
these are all nostalgic plays from like DFMOs
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yep. That was great. All right. That's all we got for
Thank you,
guys.
Usher.
Thank you, Usher.
Good.
Thank you, NFL, for always putting on a good product.
Good
Yeah.
you.
Got us again.
You got us, always gets us. It's
Never
not
sleeps.
rigged. It's not fixed.
Well, you
appreciate
say
you.
that. 3 straight Super Bowls decided by 3 points and overtime.
That's a good product on the field.
And I picked both teams to be in the Super Bowl, and so did your boy. Schrags got it right again.
He did.
5 years in a row?
No, more than that.
8?
Something like that. Yeah, more than 5. He's not a
Incredible.
hater. He knows the script before it comes out.
And Dr. Oz and Mecole Hardman, he said, who do you see yourself playing against in the Super Bowl? And Mecole Hardman said, I see us playing against the 49ers. Except
Us
He's
was
not
not
good.
who it was.
it was me. I'm not going to be a Jet. I'm gonna be a
That
Chief.
wasn't in that part of it, though.
No, but Revisionist history says it is.
Maybe.
Dr. Oz is never wrong.
Dr. Oz may have known it in the back of his head. He didn't want to say it, though.
You're going to get traded.
Couldn't have it.
Aaron Rodgers is going to get hurt.
Crazy. Wild. Appreciate you tuning in to this Monday edition of Mik'd Up. We will be back live on Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. We'll be breaking down the position players, breaking down some of the lineup, breaking down some of the swings. We'll talk it through. Talk about what to look for visually.
If you want it auditorily.
If you want it auditorily, or anywhere you get your podcast, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Y'all have been doing a really good job of doing that lately. Please continue.
Much appreciated.
We're growing our subscribers, which is great. Our viewership is going up. We appreciate that. Baseball season is here, and we are going to bring you all the best content, all the best conversations about baseball season, about the SEC, about college baseball, about really all sports. But we're in baseball season, so we're going to focus. We're chameleons. Baseball, we go football. They have sprinkle a little basketball in there.
Polo.
Football show, if y'all didn't know.
Football show, if you didn't know.
Golf.
We'll be back with golf. Golf's going to be kind of goes hand in hand with baseball.
April soon come.
Ooh, the commercials are coming. They're popping.
Hello, friends.
Speaking of commercials, before I go, y'all see the Get Gordon commercial on the Super Bowl, like the local Super Bowl
See, I was
commercial.
in Lafayette.
I missed it. I didn't see it.
Floje
Bars?
had a Get Gordon rap, and it was on Super Bowl Sunday, local show here. So they play it. The way it works, you have the national. CBS has the national broadcast. Well, the local CBS affiliates, they play. Those are expensive, right? You pay for the local Super Bowl ads. So Gordon paid for a few. One of them, Rosie, a new dog, that's joined the Gordon family. And then Floje has
Another dog.
Is a dog. Floje has a rap, a Get Gordon rap. It was actually pretty good.
I mean,
very
he could
good.
only go
she's
up.
very good.
He could only go up. With
And
the jingle.
so she was. It was a really good commercial, really cool commercial. If you haven't seen it, go look it up. It's on Gordon's socials. Floje posted on her socials. Really good. I meant to talk about that earlier, but perfect time to throw it in there. Like I said, we'll be live on Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Looking forward to it. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Good night. Peace.
Goodbye, football.
Love and happy. Goodbye, football. Goodbye, NFL football.
Bye.
We have the UFL.
UFL.